The city where Europe and Asia meet, Istanbul is the only one in the world that has been the capital of three empires. With a remarkable past, this journey reveals stories and fascinating facts about a truly unique place. Istanbul, the largest city in Turkey, is divided by the Bosphorus Strait. Istanbul is the only major metropolis in the world that spans two continents. While Turkey is predominantly an Asian country, Istanbul is in many ways more European than Asian. The European side of the city concentrates most of its population as well as its main historical landmarks. Discover next the main tourist attractions of Istanbul: Hagia Sophia, Blue Mosque, Topkapi Palace, Galata Tower, Basilica Cistern, Maiden's Tower, Golden Horn, Suleiman Mosque, Hippodrome of Constantinople, St. George's Cathedral, Spice Bazaar, Grand Bazaar, and enjoy beautiful views from the Bosphorus Strait. As a result of more than 2,500 years of history involving Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans, Istanbul is one of the cities with the greatest number of legends in the world. Many of these stories blend religion, mythology, and historical events. Legend has it that the city was founded by the Greek Byzas of Megara around the 7th century BC. Before founding the city, he consulted the oracle and received a mysterious answer: build your city opposite the land of the blind. He then headed to the Bosphorus and noticed that settlers were already established on the Asian side. He realized that they were on the opposite side of what could be considered the strategic location. He then concluded that those settlers were the blind of the prophecy and founded the city of Byzantium exactly opposite them. Many years later, in 330 AD, the city became Constantinople, serving as the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. Before that, it was also known as New Rome. Historically, the Byzantine Empire was the direct continuation of the Roman Empire in the East. In 1453, still as Constantinople, it became the capital of the Ottoman Empire. In 1923, with the founding of the Republic of Turkey, the city became Istanbul, and its geography was one of the key factors behind its importance. The Bosphorus Strait is a natural waterway that divides the city of Istanbul into its European and Asian sides, connecting the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara. With more than 30 kilometers in length, the Bosphorus is one of the most strategic routes in the world. As a result, millions of people cross continents daily to work, study, or return home. Throughout history, the Bosphorus Strait has played a crucial role in both trade and military terms. It serves as a maritime access route for countries such as Russia and Ukraine, and is even more crucial as it is the only navigable connection between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. But Istanbul is not just geography, it is also a journey through time. One of Istanbul's greatest symbols is the impressive Hagia Sophia. It was built in the 6th century to serve as a Christian church, known as the Basilica of Hagia Sophia. The monumental Hagia Sophia was once the largest church in the world. After the Ottoman conquest in 1453, minarets were added and it became the Hagia Sophia Mosque. In the 20th century, it was transformed into a museum and has now returned to being a mosque. It is a place where different civilizations have left their marks, and where history still echoes in every detail. Opposite Hagia Sophia stands the Blue Mosque, built during the Ottoman period. With its 6 minarets, it dominates the skyline and has become one of Istanbul's most iconic landmarks. Minarets are one of the defining features of mosques, and their number reflects the monument's religious significance. The thousands of tiles in predominantly blue tones give the mosque its name. It was light and color that gave it a soul that has endured through the centuries. Topkapi Palace takes us back to the Ottoman Empire and to Constantinople. While giants such as the British Empire and the Mongol Empire dominated vast territories, it was at this strategic point between continents that power gained a unique meaning. First, as the center of the Eastern Roman Empire. Then as the Byzantine Empire, and later as the jewel of the Ottoman Empire. The latter was not the largest empire in the world in terms of size, but it was one of the longest-lasting and most influential in history. In Constantinople, now Istanbul, every stone tells a story of conquest, faith, and transformation. A city that did not merely witness empires, but became their very throne. Thus, Topkapi Palace served for nearly 4 centuries as the residence of the Ottoman sultans. The palace was the political center of the empire, and its spaces reveal the power and luxury of the Ottoman court. The Galata Tower is one of Istanbul's most traditional landmarks. It was built in 1348 by the Genoese, when the area was a European trading colony. Originally called the Tower of Christ, it has served over time as an observation tower, a defensive structure, and even a prison. At nearly 63 meters tall, the tower becomes a special attraction because from the top it offers a beautiful 360 degrees panoramic view. You can see parts of the city, including the Bosphorus Strait, the historic peninsula, and landmarks such as Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, and Topkapi Palace. It is especially beautiful at sunset and at night, and is located in an area full of cafes, art, and modern life. Legend has it that couples who climb the tower together for the first time are destined to marry. Exploring a different experience from what we have seen so far, we now enter Istanbul's underground world, the Basilica Cistern. The Basilica Cistern is one of the most mysterious and fascinating places in Istanbul. It is a vast underground water reservoir, built in the 6th century by Emperor Justinian I. It is a monumental structure, with more than 300 marble columns supporting the ceiling, spanning approximately 140 meters in length, with a capacity of about 80,000 cubic meters of water. The feeling is like being inside a submerged palace. At the bottom of the cistern, there is an intriguing detail: 2 heads of Medusa used as column bases, placed upside down. The reason why they were placed this way remains unknown. The site offers a unique atmosphere, dim lighting, reflections on the water, and the sound of dripping echoes create a sense of mystery. It is an experience unlike any other, as it is a world beneath the ground, hidden for centuries, revealing the advanced level of engineering of its time. On the Bosphorus Strait, near the Asian shore, stands one of the city's most poetic symbols, the Maiden's Tower. This tower has served many purposes over time, but it truly comes to life through its legends. The most famous tells the story of a king and his daughter. After learning of a prophecy that his daughter would be bitten by a snake and die on her 18th birthday, the king built the tower and isolated her there to keep her safe from serpents. However, the snake eventually reached the young maiden, hidden inside a basket of fruit. The princess died, giving rise to the name Maiden's Tower. Also known as Leander's Tower, this name comes from another, even more romantic legend, the love story between Leander and Hero, a priestess of Aphrodite. The Maiden's Tower is a small point on the map, yet filled with stories and legends waiting to be told. The Golden Horn is a natural, horn-shaped inlet that cuts through the city of Istanbul. At sunset, its waters reflect golden hues, which may explain the origin of its unusual name. Since ancient times, the Golden Horn has been a strategic harbor and, for that reason, one of the most contested locations in history. Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans have all left their marks there. More than just a body of water, the Golden Horn is a living testament to Istanbul's greatness, a place where civilizations met and empires flourished. Majestic and imposing, the Suleiman Mosque is one of the greatest symbols of the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire. This monumental complex is much more than a mosque, as it includes several spaces designed for social purposes around the temple. Its imposing dome and elegant minarets stand out in the city's skyline. Inside, natural light passes through delicate stained glass, creating an atmosphere of serenity and contemplation. The Hippodrome of Constantinople was the great stage of public and political life in the empire. This is a virtual image of what the Hippodrome of Constantinople may have looked like. Inspired by the grand Roman circuses, it became the center of chariot races, celebrations, and even popular uprisings. It served as entertainment for large crowds who cheered for their favorite teams, turning each race into a spectacle of emotions. The space that once housed the Hippodrome has now been transformed into a square with obelisks and a German fountain. St. George's Cathedral is the spiritual heart of Orthodox Christianity. It is the seat of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, led by the Patriarch, considered the first among equals among the leaders of the Orthodox Church. It has a modest exterior appearance, but its interior reveals impressive richness. This is because, during the Ottoman Empire, churches were forbidden from competing in height or external grandeur with mosques. The true richness, mosaics, gilded wood carvings, and the iconostasis, remains hidden inside. Among its most venerated relics is the most famous one kept in the cathedral, the column of the flagellation, believed to be where Jesus Christ himself was bound and whipped before the crucifixion. Although the cathedral is dedicated to St. George, this specific column is one of the most sacred treasures of Christianity due to its direct connection to the Passion of Christ. Other tourist attractions in Istanbul include the Spice Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar. These are spaces filled with a large number of small merchants offering a wide variety of products. In these places, aromas and flavors dominate the atmosphere. Spices, teas, sweets, and dried fruits evoke the ancient trade routes that connected the East to the Mediterranean. As for tourism in Istanbul, due to its historical significance and much more, the city welcomed 18.6 million international tourists in 2024, which is equivalent to an average of 50,000 visitors per day. As a result, Istanbul is one of the most visited cities in the world and the main tourist destination in Turkey. With nearly 19 million visitors in 2024, Istanbul is not just a destination, it is one of the world's greatest hubs of connection, where the past and the present coexist on every corner. In closing, Istanbul is a city unlike any other in history. No other metropolis has been the heart of the Roman Empire in the East, remained a capital for more than 1,500 years, and then emerged as the center of a vast Islamic empire. It is the only place where you can literally walk between Europe and Asia in just a few minutes. More than a destination, Istanbul is an experience that transcends time. And here we come to the end. See you on our next travel experience.